எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருப்போம். So I'm just placing it here. So it's a pretty long video because a lot of news, lot of coverages of cricket to be done. So today it's India versus West Indies, first test which is happening in West Indies. India is touring West Indies after 2016, 2017 for the test. If I'm not wrong, that's where when the so-called Virat Kohli's form actually began. If you all remember, the very first 200 came, and then the next four series after, every series he got a 200. So hopefully we all gonna see that comeback Virat Kohli from this. Not sure, he just had another 180 odd in his previous test against Australia, not the WTC but the India Australia series in India. So that is one. It looks like, more or less India would win this game, win this series. If they're not winning it, then it's only going to be a tragedy because it never looks like a team that can beat India. I mean, West Indies is never not looking like a team that can beat India. It is very disappointed to see that because the way in which West Indies had once ruled the cricket is only disheartening to see this happening to them. Until maybe 2000, 2003 or late 2005-7, they had pretty good team. But then after that it is only disastrous, and we could see that pain in the commentators who's talking about, be it Ian Bishop who speaks about their own batsmen. There is a debutant. One good thing is, like, for Indian team there are a couple of debutants. One is Yashasvi Jaiswal, and the other one is Ishan Kishan, and on the other hand, in West Indies there is another young, very good looking, I mean, good in terms of batting. What's his name? Astazane something, and I'm sorry I couldn't get his name. uh, Adanaze, maybe, I don't know how do I pronounce it. I don't know. But then there is this one down person who came in. He had just scored one century in the first class cricket, and he is into the West Indies squad. So that is the way that their domestic cricket is now. That is a state which is going to be very tough, and the selection is always tricky part here, because even in our Indian team selection, you would see a lot of questionable selections that has happened. How could Ajinkya Rahane came back to Indian team after an IPL innings? How can Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Ruturaj with an IPL form coming into Test cricket? There was why is only Pujara dropped and not Kohli with such a low average for last few years? These many questions keep coming in, guys. See, selection of a player is not just runs. I'm sure everybody who had played cricket would definitely know that, and especially as in a team, as in a management, as in a coach, captain, they would look at a lot of other stuffs. Like, it's very easy. I know that there are multiple voices raised across media with many former great players, former coaches, former players, the media pundits, and so many other people talks about the selections and stuff. Why is Safras Khan not selected? Why is so and so player not selected? Why is so and so player not dropped rather than this person? So these questions gonna come up every single time. It's quite obvious. What is the possibility, in terms of selecting a person and not selecting a person? Is huge thing goes. If numbers alone, if clearly, if stats alone is the way to select a person, I don't think so. There are a lot of things. It's a team game. Cricket is a team game. You need to have a team person. You need to have someone who could contribute as a team player. I repeat this team player because I don't know. I'm not criticizing anyone here. I'm definitely not, but I don't think so. Safraz Khan is yet ready to play an international cricket yet. I don't know why I felt, but somewhat he would have scored runs. I'm sure he had plenty of runs in last few years of domestic cricket, Ranji cricket, but it is not just runs, guys. Please, there are certain way someone is playing. There are certain things that is happening, and I was also heard from someone that it is also kind of disciplinary issue that is actually keeping Safraz Khan out of the selections. I don't think so that is the case. If that is the case, then it is something serious he needs to work on. And on the other hand, I am actually would be very honest to say disappointed not to see someone like in Panchal or Abhimanyu Ishwaran not playing. When they were looking for an opener, because those are the names which I feel more than Safraz Khan, who had played in the A circuit as well. India A circuit continuously, and had scored runs as well. So I I possibly felt maybe a chance for Nabimani Ishwaran or an Panchal might be more debatable than a Sarfaraz Khan. I don't know. Maybe they just need one name and to make some news out of it. But again, it is more to do with what the Indian team needs, what they are looking at as in the future of Indian cricket for next 10-15 years. Because any kid who's coming into picture, they would need to give them a longer run, as in especially as a test team. So as I keep saying, in West Indies as ones were the giants of Test cricket. In fact, cricket itself. And now we can see where they are. Nothing in Test cricket, and they've just missed out to play World Cup, 50 overs World Cup, and their board is not sufficient enough to pay their players, and their players are playing across all the leagues and making money, and they are the champions, but they could not win games for their own country. So there are so many things. Now I could also relate why BCCI is not letting all the other players, I mean Indian players, to play the other leagues as well. So in fact, even the retired players had to think about had to get an NOC. That is a new rule, if I am not wrong, from BCCI to play in the other leagues other than IPL. So see, there are so many things in it is very easy to call out, okay, why is it not happening, why is that happening. It's a lot about future that is coming in. India doesn't want to be the next West Indies here. It is to be very careful here. They need to play it very smartly here. And I feel that is where the importance of having multiple Indian teams is important here. We would very soon gonna see so many associated nations coming in, and we should have a team as a T20 team which should go around the world and start playing cricket as an India team, or even you call as an India A, whatever it is. But you should be having multiple teams. And when I say that, India is sending a team to Asia Cup. I guess we have done this prior as well, way back, and I'm not sure. I remember playing Commonwealth in 1998 under the leadership of Ajay Jadeja. I'm not sure if they played Asia Cup, but yeah, this time Asia Cup Indian women and men team is going. So that is one positive news, where when the senior team is playing in a different tour, you can still send a team to another competition, bigger competition, and still go ahead and win. That's one key thing that they would be looking at, and that's a way to look forward. Because from an Indian perspective, say 150 billion odd people, and there are so many talents which is playing cricket. You say a person taking out from a Ranji trophy, say Say for example, someone like a Safraz Khan, he's so talented. You score so much of runs. Say someone like an Abhimanyu Ishwaran, Panchal. These guys just step out and say that I'm gonna play for America tomorrow, and they just move to America, and they can just play for US, right? So if that's happening, and that's going to be worrying for India, if one day everybody just moves out and say, not everybody, I'm saying, huge chunk of Ranji, because our quality of game is completely different, guys, definitely different. So when I say Yashasvi Jaiswal, and if I compare with the Reefer, a guy who played for one down for West Indies, just scored one century out of so many games, and Yashasvi Jaiswal just played 18 or 16 games, and he had scored 9 centuries, and then that is the in our Ranji Trophy. Ranji Trophy is not so easy, guys. It's a bundle of talented cricket players are there who are ready to do wonderful things in international cricket. So it is very important to give them. Yes, now the pay is really good, remuneration is very good. You get into IPL contracts, you get into the local state team, leagues like TNPL, MPL, and KPL, so many other teams. Remuneration is really really good, but they would need fame as well. That is also important. So if they think, if Indian team is not working for me, why not any other international team? That's something which is really going to happen, and BCCI really needs to think about that as well. So yeah, so saying that, so as I just said, TNPL is just TNPL 2023 has just got over, and I'm very happy LYCA KOVAI Kings had won, because LYCA was a team which almost looked like, right from the start of the tournament, it looked like a completely different team. For example, how GT was the whole series of IPL, and ended up winning. I mean, GT didn't end up winning, but here Laika KOVAI Kings ended up winning as well. So very happy. Congratulations to the entire team. Even in fact, Sai was not there. Sai Station wasn't there for last few games. They still went on and win the game, win the tournament. Heads off to Shah Rukh Khan, the captain. He came out as a completely different game that he played, like not as a batsman but as a bowler. I was always saying this: he should bowl enough, because when he started as an all-rounder. If I'm not wrong, I somewhat feel I saw him as bowling as an pace bowler, and I saw him bowling off spin. I don't know, maybe if I'm wrong. But that's good, because I keep saying we need batsmen who's bowling. We need that. So that is very important. So good to see him playing that role. And player of the series, this guy Ajitesh Guruswamy. Wow, he just amazed me, is what I would say. What a game that he has. He has that all round ability. The way that he was playing spin, when it comes to India, and when it comes to the domestic players, it's all very common to see the way that they use their feet for spinners. But this guy was very good in playing down the line, getting on top of the ball, and at the same time going back and pulling, and cutting the spinners, was just amazing to see. I just loved that happening, and final was just dominated by Laika KOVAI Kings, which is like 205 they have scored, and Nelai has just scored 101 all out, and in 15 overs, like that's a dominating win with 104 runs. So hats off, amazing stuff by the entire team, all the teams, and the entire committee, I would say. Very happy to see TNPL going the way it is, because I'll be very open. When it all started, I really felt TNPL should be more for the youngsters to chip in and show their talents and stuff. But it was more like an how do I call, a government office, where it was all like veterans. That's how it was when it started. That's what I felt, and that's how it was as well. You were seeing a lot of old players, players even who had left Tamil Nadu, cricket team, and then they were coming in and playing. Eventually, even if you look at IPL, that is how it was, right? Even the retired players came back and started playing IPL for about 1 or 2 years, and then it came like the burst of youngsters that come in and then rule the IPL, right? And that's how this particular year is what perhaps new youngsters came in and just kept being the rock star of this year. And every time, I mean, I was not able to look at every game live, so I had to go by the YouTube channel and fan codes highlights. Thank you, fan code, for all those highlights in YouTube. So I was able to watch that. So when I say that, I'm pretty happy. Very first time in my life, India versus West Indies, I could watch live properly, and not like, in India I used to ensure all my dad, mom, everybody is sleeping, and then I switch on the TV when they are all sleeping, and still watch the game with mute. So now I need not to, because it's pretty much 3 o'clock start here and 11 o'clock finish, I guess. So in that way, I'm very happy. So coming back to TNPL again, Ajitesh Guruswamy had a fantastic season of 385 runs. He's named the man of the series. Good to see Sai Sudarshan in amazing form. He just continued it. 371 runs in just 6 innings. Amazing. And Shivam Singh, wow, he had a splendid season as well. And a few other like veterans of like Aparjit, Inderjit, Arun Karthik, they all made some good runs. Nidish Rajgopal, someone who had really done really well. Vidum, and Suresh Kumar, Mukilesh, Tushar Rajesh. These are the few guys. Sharad Kumar, what was he doing, guys? He was playing left, right-handed, left-handed, everything. That was an amazing game. Uh, he played really well. Charuk, as I said, didn't quite bat the way that he should have been, but still, whenever he got a chance, he was just smacking it at 190 strike rate, which was very good. There was one innings of Jafar Jamal. It really blistered the entire game. Ritik Ishwaran on the qualifiers. What a game it was! The game that was really mattered. The innings that was really mattered, I would say. Oh, as I speak, there is just a wicket holder. Holder is out of Siraj. He pulling one. They were just going for runs. There is no way that they can keep defending this Indian bowling attack. So they should go and play this baseball. Otherwise, no runs. So yeah, so in that way, it was really good game. So how do I see, when I look at the stats of a tournament, what do I see? How do I pick people is more towards like, yes, who has scored well, who has scored highest number of runs, and then I would look at strike rate. When it comes to T20, I would look at strike rate and the number of runs. Otherwise, what you call as average and strike rate, right? uh, what is that? Basra? Yeah, Basra. Batting average and strike rate. Batting strike rate and average. That is something that I'll be looking at. And apart from that, I'll be looking at the number of sixes they hit, because that is also there. I mean, anyone can score runs, but consistently in a tournament, if someone can clear the ropes so consistent, then there seems to be he is a good player, right? So that is something that I'll be looking at. And from a bowling perspective, definitely the wickets and economy. So when I say this time again, Shahrukh was the highest wicket taker with 17 wickets, which is very good. And Gujpaneet, if I'm not wrong, Gujpaneet, yeah, and he is the left arm pacer. He has done really well with 15 wickets. Supot Bhatti, and he has done amazingly well. Looks like a very promising all rounder. So someone who can be looked at. Varun Chakravarti just continued. There were a few games he was smacked, but still, he was on target every other game. Amazing bowling. And Manimar and Siddharth, I always wonder why this chap didn't still not getting an IPL contract. I strongly feel this person here, Manimaran Siddharth, has a very strong chance to make it to a IPL contract, and definitely from this year's TNPL, we could see handful people picked for the IPL contracts. Remember what happened for Sai Sudarshan last year? This will happen for him this year, for many others this year as well. Disheartening to see Natarajan not performing, Natarajan not playing more matches. I don't know what has happened. So yeah, eventually, good to have a very good tournament. Very happy personally as well. Few of players who played in our academy, in our nets, cricket nets, they have played. Madhivannan for Dindigul Dragons had got all the games, so very happy for him. He would have definitely had a lot of exposure talking to the great legend Ashwin. Ashwin himself picked him in the auction table. Those are lovely moments you can cherish always. And very happy on that TNPL next year. I would definitely feel more people from our academy should go ahead and start play. Hopefully. And then on the other hand, India Bangladesh women's series T20 is going on. First game was an cake walk, I would say, and then the second game, yesterday's game, it was very tricky game. Like India got all out of for no 95 something, and then it was, what a spirited performance by Bangladesh, I would say. Bangladesh is one team which is like spirited like anything, man, irrespective of whether it is senior men's team, women's team, or a junior under 19 team. They are such a spirited people and an amazing folks. But yeah, if they had batters in their team yesterday, they would have won it. But eventually, all these spirits, all these skills as a fielder, as a bowler will lift you the team. But to win a game, you need to have batters as well. So that is where they were lacking yesterday. Otherwise, it was an amazing game. And women's Ashes T20, England has won. First game Australia won, and then the remaining two England has won, and then won the tournament as well. Now the very first ODI looks like going to be a thrilling finish. Australia has scored 263 out of 48, and England chased. I mean, England was amazing. They got a blistering start, and now they are at 222 for 6, which is like they need 42 of 10 overs, which is going to be very interesting says, because they lost 6. Yeah, though Heather Knight and Kilston is playing, it's going to be a very tough game from there. And there is Ashes. The next Ashes is happening here in Manchester. So hopefully, if I get a ticket, I would really wanted to go on a day and then take my kids as well. But not sure if there would be any tickets left. And the Ashes is going so blindly here. And the South Zone and West Zone, the Duleep Trophy final is happening, which I feel would be washed out. If not, it's going to be West Zone. West Zone is an amazing team that has, and they already had put South Zone on the back foot. South Zone is 182 for 7 on the day 1. And before I end, I just wanted to leave it to you guys. Can you all suggest which would be the 15-member team that India would be selecting for Asia Cup? Okay, so for the Asia 2023, just name the 15 you think India is gonna select. The one would be the captain, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so many IPL players who had performed well gonna get chance. I'm very happy, looking forward for few names like Jitesh Sharma, Brahman Singh, and maybe Shivam Dubey himself, Shikhar Dhawan himself, Prithvi Shah. Hopefully, many other many other people also gonna get chance is what I believe. So let's wait and watch who's gonna play in that. Put your 15 in the comments list. Let's see that. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Allah.